Hi guys, welcome back and thank you so much for being here. Waiting they happen, waiting they sup. Happy weekend guys. I trust you guys are doing fantastically well. Please, so as you are coming in, just be hitting the like button, be smashing the like button. It does wonders for my platform. Please guys, don't hesitate to hit the like button. So I wanted to do a quick reaction to the story that's currently trending with regards to Pegasus and basically what happened to June's fingernail. And reportedly, allegedly, unless otherwise specified, my understanding is that the June broke her fingernail while she was under Peggy's care. Okay. And that was when allegedly it happened. So I'm going to be operating from that standpoint. And let me first of all go ahead and play the video and then I'll delve into my opinion proper. Okay. So yeah, let's start with that.
How did people watch? And since if you lose a second, no, don't click that one.
See, there's still dirt inside.
Be careful.
I will be very careful. June has lost a nail.
I don't touch the inside. Ow!
There's sand there. Look at sand now. Let me take it out.
Just be really down. Mommy.
Yeah?
I'm just something. Something.
You want to narrate the story of how you lost it?
How?
You lost your nail?
I don't want to right now. This finger didn't hurt.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Come out. Wait. This is supposed to be a subscriber only live. How come there are people watching?
How the people watching? And
Yeah, it's supposed to be only subscribers.
they're supposed to be, but there's some of them are not subscribers.
Yeah, I'm seeing people who are not subscribers.
Let's take them off.
Okay, so let me go ahead and say this, yeah? Please, if you're coming in, just be hitting the like button. Thank you so much for doing that. And the video continued. Apparently, she didn't realize that she was broadcasting publicly, and so she cut the feed. And yeah, but later on, in a longer version, like you can hear Junie crying, and then Cora also says something about there being sand, okay, in the fingernails. And that really should tell you, that really should, in my opinion, call into question the the hygiene level, okay, that he whatever the hygiene level that he subjects them to whenever they are over there. Again, like I said, in a longer version of the video, you can actually hear Junie crying so painfully, and you can tell that she's in pain with regards to this. And when I saw this, it did not surprise me one bit. It did not surprise me that the children are basically, that she broke a nail. It didn't surprise me because we see how he roughhouse with them. We see how he plays with them, quote unquote play. I'm doing my air quotation now. We see how he supposedly plays with them. He puts them in danger, in my opinion. And I can show evidence to this any given time. What is so interesting is that up until today, I still have his minions in my comment section. For example, this comment that you see here. I still have his minions in my comment section telling me that he's the greatest dad. That he's the greatest dad. And this person completely lied when this person said his fans don't go on KO. They do. When you go on Cora's page, whenever she's live, even in the longer version of this, video where she talked about Athena Junie losing her fingernail. Even in the longer version, you will even hear at some point where she was talking about how she actually prefers doing um that now she actually prefers doing members only for her mental health. That's what she said. And she's saying that not because the people who support her are coming for her. When she talks about protecting her mental health with regards to what platform she chooses to post her video to go live on, she's referring to Peggy's minions who are actively coming on her page to like bully her and shame her parenting while they applaud this man for sumo wrestling his own small girls that this man started exacting, in my opinion, violence on from a very, very, even before they were 5 years old, was already exacting violence. These children, under their father, has never experienced what it's called soft life. They've never, under their father's watch, they've never experienced like affection. They've never experienced being taken care of, being treated like children that they are. They've never experienced it. And so when I see comments like this from these unserious elements, it just makes me laugh. Because all you have to do is just go on her comment, and that's even the reason why this comment was posted like 4 days ago. And I was actually going to do a separate video about it in addition to something else that I wanted to talk about. But then I was like, let me include this because this is a good example of these people and their distorted narrative. How can you call a man who body slams his 5-year-old a greatest dad? Like, I have made my peace with the notion that a lot of the people who follow him, people who worship him, one, they just say all these things to kind of like pepper Cora or whatever. And also, number two, they do these things because in reality, a lot of them do not have the faintest idea of what it means to be a loving, protective, and dedicated father. Some of them, they are old. Some of them are in their 70s, in their 60s, in their 50s, in their 40s. Okay? And a lot of them, their father left under the guise of going to buy a carton of milk and never came back till tomorrow. Now they are in their 70s. Their father left when they were like 3 years old to go and buy a carton of milk. He never came back. Now they are into their 70s, 60s, 50s. The man did not come back with the carton of milk. So a lot of them, they just feel like the fact that he is supposedly present, Peggy being present, is enough for them to like bestow upon him the crown of a so-called good father, greatest father. I'm sorry. In my opinion, nah. It's not enough for you to just show up. You can't be a deadbeat father. You can't be a father who refused to take your child to hospital when your child is violently ill. You can't be a father who body slams your minor children, children that are not even 10 years old, they're not even 7, body slamming them. You're not a good father when you are actively shoving the cameras down their face. When Athena was 6 months old, she started in her non-verbal way expressing that she didn't want this man shoving the cameras down her face. That is why when this child was just crawling, that was why you will see her dropping the tripod, always going for the tripod, wanting to pull it down. It was her own way of expressing that she didn't want the camera shoved down her face the way he was doing it. I'm sorry. Just being in your kid's life because you don't want to pay child support is not my example of a good father. Just simply being present for the heck of it is not my example of a good father. A good father must protect. A good father must take into consideration that some of the activities that he engages in with his kids are very, very age inappropriate and gender inappropriate. That's what a good father does. This man will shout at the rooftop about how intelligent he is, how he invented this and he invented that. But the basic act, the basic example of that intelligence, he cannot show. So now, unlike all those people whose father left to go and get a carton of milk when they were 3 years old and never showed up, some of us actually have had the privilege of being raised by a father who really, really was present, a father who did not turn his children or his wife into a money-making scheme, a father who really, really understood what it meant to be present, to protect, to do everything that you must to not intentionally inflict harm on your children. Some of us have been privileged enough to grow under such conditions, and we know that what this man is doing is not right. This is not an example. There are so many fathers out there, right? There are so many fathers out there who did not grow up having a father in their lives. But because of that lived experience, they have made sure, they made a vow that they will never treat their children, they will never abandon their children, they will never torture their children, they will never inflict pain on their children the way their own fathers did to them. And you see it in their actions, you see it in the way they comport themselves, you see it in the way that they treat their children. I have never seen anybody treat their children the way Peggy treats June and Athena. I have never seen among content creators on social media. A few years ago, there was this family show. There was this family content creator on YouTube called Daddy05. Daddy05 was eventually ran out of social media, ran out of YouTube, because one of his male children, so Daddy05, he was first married and then he had a divorce and then he married another one. Out of the first marriage produced like 2 children, and then he divorced the first wife and he remarried. Okay, so when he remarried, The second wife came with her own set of kids, in addition to the children that Daddy of Five had. They, in turn, Daddy of Five and his new wife also produced a couple of kids. So it was like very much, in every sense of the word, what's the word that they call this? Blended family. In every sense of the word, it was a blended family. So when they decided that they were going to go on social media, they were going to start a YouTube page to showcase, how beautiful their blended family is. He was previously married. His current wife was also previously married, and they had kids, and then those kids came together, and his new wife and he also had a couple of more kids. So it was a bunch of them. It was like, 5 of them in the home. So that was their intention for starting social media, starting in YouTube. But then that quickly deviated when audience started to notice things. And that's the reason why, for all the awful, disgusting thing that Pegasus is doing, the audience, his supporters, his viewers, shares just as much blame as he does, because they are watching these things happen in real time and they are just allowing it to happen. But anyways, back to Daddy 05. Eventually, the audience started to notice that there was one particular kid, and this kid was by his previous wife, that was being treated very, very poorly. That kid was treated like the scapegoat. That kid was treated like the punching bag in the family. And then whenever the kid would react or show express disapproval of the punching, that they were punching him, or the poor treatment, or the crazy prank that they were pulling on him, whenever he will express his disapproval, and then one of the kids will be like, "It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro." But the person that you are pulling this prank on is telling you that he doesn't think it's funny. He thinks that you are being abusive towards him and he wants you to stop. So every single person, including the father, was also doing the same thing. Including the father was also doing the same thing to the boy. So he became like the punching bag in the home, until the audience just they had enough, got to a point where the audience had enough, and guess what they did? They started reporting the videos to YouTube, and YouTube started taking a look at it, and YouTube started seeing that, yeah, there really was a cause for concern. Okay, and CPS was called. And speaking of CPS, recently I saw a video where Cora was talking about how they called CPS to her home. And then I'm just like, if there is anybody more deserving of a CPS visit, in my opinion, and I'm not telling anybody to go and call CPS or whatever, do whatever you like. But if there is anybody more deserving of CPS visit, it's Pegasus. Okay? But guess who gets visit from CPS all the time? His ex. Because Pegasus minions, they have all the smoke. They have nothing but time on their hands to call CPS on somebody between the two of them who is actually doing the job of parenting, who is actually nurturing the kids, who's actually providing a safe, protective, secure, and stable environment for the kids. Okay? So imagine this man who cannot even pay the rent that he greedily went and put his head in. He went and rented a huge apartment thinking that was going to give him leverage, was going to give him upper hand against his ex in court with regards to the child custody. Imagine somebody that had to like run out of the place allegedly because he couldn't afford the place that he was paying. That alone right there has shown a lack of stability for the children. But no, that person gets to do whatever he likes, Nobody calls CPS. Nobody bats an eye. But his ex-wife, who's actually the one, who's actually, in my opinion, and the opinion of what's the word I'm looking for? The opinion of every unbiased person who's watching and paying attention can see that she's the only one between the two of them who is actually making an effort. Okay? So, anyways, CPS got called, and eventually the kids by the other woman, by the first wife, got removed from the home. And this man was banned from YouTube. Okay, and this happened like a few years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago now that this happened. Why am I bringing Daddy of Five conversation into this? Because the audience, they were not blinded, they were not in a court, they were not a bunch of old withered desperados who are looking for an Oyinbo man that they can fantasize over to get their rocks on, their dried, withered, whatever. The audience, they saw what was happening and they took actions. Okay? They took action and they made sure that this man never maltreated his son ever again. He lost custody. When all of the evidence were collected, when all of it was said and done, he lost custody of the children that he had with his previous wife, his first wife. So, yeah. The audience, Peggy's audience, Pegasus' audience, the way that they have allowed this man to continue to be a pariah, the way that they have allowed this man to continue to be a stain, to continue to be a bane in his children's existence, it is what is telling. So for somebody like this clown here to come into my comment section and talk about how this man is the greatest dad, when you literally are watching a man body slamming his own flesh and blood, a small child, playing with them so inappropriately. So when I saw the video about June losing a fingernail, I was not surprised. Heck, I could have guessed where that happened based on what I have seen. You don't need to be a clairvoyant to assume where she could have been injured, or how that injury could have come about. And you could see the pain that that little girl was in when her mom was trying to clean it. You could see the pain that she was in. And you have a bunch of desperados just because your father left you, or you didn't grow up in a home with fatherly love, a father who cared about you, does not give you the audacity to turn a blind eye to a clear case of abuse. It does not. Like, he comes on social media, he spews some garbage, he spews some nonsense. He spews some nonsense. Somebody says, I think he has threatened Baby J. That's why she's so scared to tell Cora. That's why she's so scared to tell Cora about. He used to put Athena on. He used to put Athena on pedal. Now he abusing her. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised to learn that he threatened her. He wouldn't even let the girl cry. The day that he body slammed her, he wouldn't let her cry. The little girl was in so much pain, and as she attempted to cry, You could just hear the voice, like his voice. He gave her the look and then he called her name in such a stern way that she understood. He called her name in a stern way that she actually understood what that meant. And she immediately swallowed it. And the way that he's treating them, he's making them afraid to speak up so that, and this is obviously my opinion, he's making them so afraid to speak up, you know, and he probably withholds affection from them whenever they express disapproval of his behavior. And that's the reason why I laughed so hard. There was a post that he did where he was like, "Do you know who don't criticize my parenting, my kids?" I was just laughing. I was like, "Really? So you're patting yourself on the back because your 5 year olds and your 3 year olds do not criticize your parenting, and that's something that you feel you want to like push? How old are you? Like, what the heck?" So you want a pat on the back? You have the audacity shamelessly praise yourself because nobody's like your children, your 2 year old, your 3 year old, and your 5 year old are not criticizing your parenting. And you think, yeah, that means you're doing the right thing. They are kids, they don't know anything. And that's the reason why it is of utmost importance. It is of utmost importance to always train up a child. Even the Bible said it. Train up a child in the way that they should grow. Because this is their formative years. They don't know. Whatever they see you do as the parent is what they're going to believe to be the case. Imagine with everything that we have seen on social media, with everything that I personally have seen on social media, his actions, okay, as a parent, his parenting skills that have given me cause for concerns. Imagine how much of that is being absorbed by these kids. Imagine how much of this is being buried in their subconscious. And then thinking, this is how a father is supposed to behave. This is how a parent is supposed to treat their child. A parent is supposed to emotionally manipulate his child. A parent is supposed to treat his child poorly, inflict harm on his child, and then silence the child from crying out of the pain that he has inflicted on them. A parent, so the children from a very young age, they are absorbing this. They are retaining all of this in their mental, in their subconscious, like saying, okay, this is how it is. Again, do you know what's forming? The cycle of bad parenting. A cycle of bad parenting. Again, back to the Bible's teaching about training up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So whatever you damn well believe that whatever it is that this man is doing to them when he has them on the weeks that he has them, you best believe that those trainings and those parenting are being embedded in their subconscious. You best believe. Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you for the stars. You best believe that they are those things are being buried in their subconscious. They are absorbing every single action. That's how you learn. That's how you remember things. That's how sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you're just like, okay, it's like what you need to do. For example, you find yourself in a bind, what you need to do comes out, you know. It will seem as though it came out of nowhere. No, it was a life skill that you have witnessed from so many years ago that was buried in your subconscious. But then when we're faced with, for example, a life or death situation, and you were looking for a way out, all of that just springs out. Just come out like second nature. It's almost as if you've done it before. But you know, in your consciousness, you might not even remember where you learn that trick, learn that tip, learn whatever. You may not even remember, but in your subconscious, it is there. It is something that you came across. It is like when you're going out and you're doing certain things, and you think you're not paying attention, but your subconscious is paying attention. And that's the reason why also hypnosis, whenever police are trying to get witness or people who were around the time that a certain crime was committed, but they don't remember seeing anything. Sometimes they are put under hypnosis, and hypnosis helps them remember what was buried in their subconscious, because it's there. You just need to tap into it. It's there. That's why you see toxic people. That's why you see, especially in a two home where you don't know what the other parent is doing, especially if it is a volatile divorce and your ex is a narcissist and he's refusing to co-parent in peace. Yeah. And then you guys are splitting custody of the kids. When they are with you, you try to do the best that you can, but when they are with him, there is no telling what he can do. There is no telling what he does to them. There is no telling what he embeds in them. And that's the reason why some parents, the good parents in this scenario, that's why the good parents in this scenario, when sometimes they start to notice things, because if it is a situation where it was an amicable divorce and both parties have agreed and actually mean it, because it's one thing for you to agree to co-parent in peace, it's another thing to actually mean it. Okay, talk is cheap. But if both parents realizing that they need to co-parent in peace in the best interest of the children, they must communicate to one another. They must fill each other in on what's going on and what each parent should look out for when the kids are with them. When you have a scenario like this one, where the man is bitter, miserable, and pathetic, and just refusing to do things because of the best interest of the kids, she doesn't know what he does. He's not communicating. He's refusing to communicate with her. Whatever is going on, if there is something that he observed that he needs to communicate with her, she doesn't know. She's doing her very best. She's nurturing them the best way that she knows how, okay, without the added information. But then eventually, as the kids grow up, they get to that rebellious age. They start doing things that even the mom will be like, but I've been doing my best to be a good parent. I've been doing my possible best. I put them first. I don't undermine them. I treat them with respect, but they still have this behavior that they continue to exemplify. And I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. In spite of my uh, in spite of my best act to make sure that they are okay, to make sure that I do the best. There's just something, it's like it's not gelling. It's like something is not clicking. The reason why it's not clicking is that whatever good job, whatever parenting, whatever nurturing that you did, whatever work you put in while they were with you, the week that they are with him, everything is completely undone. Everything, all of the nurturing, all of the love, and all of the care, completely undone by him. Because he sees them as a weapon that he can use to torture you. And they are afraid of him because they don't want to get on his bad side. And because they don't want to get on his bad side, they do whatever he says, and he continues to lie. He continues to feed them with hatred, anti-mommy sentiment, anti-mommy narrative, calling you all kinds of names before them, turning you against them. And then when they go to you, they pour all of those things out on you. And then you spend the entire week nurturing them, rebuilding, fixing, correcting, only for them to go back. It's just like what we always say here about whenever the kids, they go to him, they get sick, they come back and they are well, and then they go back to him and then they get sick. It's exactly like that. The body and the mind works the exact same way. The mind. All the treatment, all the love and the care, all the TLC, tender love and care that she poured into them to nurture them back to health, the minute they go to him, it is like wiped out. It is back to doing all the things that will cause them to be sick, undermining their health, undermining their well-being, so that they go back to and ignoring it in the process. Like he sees all those things are working, like they are sick. He doesn't care to make sure to see to it that they are well. Can you guys hit the like button, please? Come on, Facebook. We can literally get this to 100 likes. We can. It's very easy. We have enough people here to get this to 100 likes. Come on. Okay? So all of the nurturing, all of the care that she had poured into them has been undone. And then it's like whenever they return to her, it's back to square one. The same thing. It works with the physical and as well as the mental. So in this scenario, and this is why I have said this from the very beginning, and I will say it until the cows come home. These kids, being with him as much time that they are with him is such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. Because everything that she has done, all the love and all the nurture, he undoes everything. And then send them back. And then she has to start over. So it's just a really, really sad situation. And somebody said they will. They will what? They will when they get older. They will what when they get older? I don't know. Maybe you are responding to somebody else. Maybe you're replying to somebody. You know. So all those things, can you guys hit the like button, please? Come on, we can get this to 100 likes. We absolutely can. So it's just a really, really, really sad situation to watch this happen. It's so frustrating because this is not a situation that cannot be resolved. I'm sorry. I know some people are going to come, but the courts, this California, please don't bring that to my page. Take it someplace else. Don't bring that to my page. Okay? Don't bring that to my page. Yes, something can absolutely be done. You see those videos of him body slamming his kid? Those videos, take that. There is no judge. There is no judge that is going to see that video and be okay with it and not leave him with a warning. There is absolutely no judge on earth that is going to see that and not, at the very least, tell him not to do it again. Because it is so unnecessary. It was so obvious that it was intentional. He intentionally moved his hand. Like, he intentionally removed his hand. So when he saw that kid was coming, he didn't even need to like do much. He could have just like stretch forth his hand and just break that speed. But he didn't do it. Instead, he just moved his shoulder and allowed the kids to land on the floor. And that's what we see. Oh, that's what we see. So imagine what happens when the cameras are off. Imagine what happens when the cameras are off. So, yeah. Like, we already know, he didn't know when he was still pretending to be the Mr. Good person, Mr. Good this and that. He didn't know, if not but for the fact that the audio got leaked about him just using the most derogatory words, derogatory term to qualify the mother of his children. Like, nobody would have believed, at least his minions wouldn't have, not me anyway. I personally clocked him a long time ago. That he was a POS. Okay? But a lot of his minions would not have believed. And even now that they have heard from the horse's mouth, they have still tried and they found a way to excuse his behavior. But before you guys saw that audio and that video, you guys were treating him like he was a saint. He was a saint, sinless. So it's just a really, really sad situation. Okay, well, since you guys will not give me my 100 likes, let me get going. Um, you know, so it's just like this will never end. This will never end. When I saw that, I knew like right away. Right away. I knew exactly. In my mind, obviously, I have no evidence, no proof. I knew it would have happened under his watch, probably during one of those rough plays that he plays with them. Like I was saying, I have been watching family content on social media for a very long time. I have never seen a family content creator treat their small children the way that Pegasus treats Chaos treat his kids. I have never seen it. You don't see that because the audience, even when they will try it the first, the second, and the third time, the audience will immediately put a pin on it. The audience, they will revolt, they will rebel against such behavior. As soon as the creator, the family content creator, as soon as they see that the audience are not buying this, they don't like this, they will immediately stop. But this man has never given his children soft life, ever. If you want your children to be interested or if you want them to have a career or just be interested in gymnastics or whatever, pay for gym club, pay. But you see, he doesn't want to pay a dime. He doesn't think that they deserve any penny from him. He doesn't want to pay. So he wants to inflict as much hurt and as much harm on them as he possibly could. Okay? So it's just really sad. Um just basically the day my 4-year-old daughter came back from their father and asked if I was a bad woman, I filed for full custody and it was granted. Yeah. Those are psychological damage. Those are ways that he can psychological damage them. Those are ways that he can parentally alienate them. Those are ways that you can alienate them from their mom. Imagine every other week you get to hear about how your mom is such a bad woman. You get to hear how your mom is such a terrible woman. Either he's telling you directly or he's having a phone conversation with the multitude of women that he has phone conversations with, or he's telling your grandmother about how bad your own mom is. And then when you go over to your mom, she doesn't say those things about your dad. She doesn't say how bad your dad is. She doesn't say any of those things. A child that has been exposed to that from a very young age is more likely to believe that, oh, after all, my mom doesn't say that he's a bad father, but he's the one that is always saying my mom is a bad mother. So it must be true, because if my mom had anything bad to say about him, if my mom had a bad experience with my dad, she would have said it too. But she doesn't do it. That means my dad is right. I believe my dad. That's how you turn your children against their mother. That's how you turn your children against their mother. He's not the first dad to be divorced, to be splitting custody with his children. There is absolutely no way, no reason why playing rough housing with them is the only thing that he can do for the kids as a way of entertainment. There is no way. You would imagine that somebody who claimed to be an educator, you would think that those kids, at this point, they'll be reading at a June will be reading at a high school level at this point. All the things that he will be teaching her, like her math skills will be awesome. But no, he's not teaching them education. He's roughhousing with them. He's actively putting them in danger. They are girls. They don't need that. That's not how you play with girls. You would think with all the education that he claims, and again, back to his minions not holding him accountable, for somebody who never misses an opportunity to tell you guys just how intelligent and how smart he is, the way that he treats his kids, why are you not holding him accountable? Why are you not asking him for more educational content? This man, because he claimed to have a degree in physical education or whatever education that he claims to have, part of that is learning. This man can literally have a table and a desk somewhere at his house, and then he can actually live stream teaching them math and English. He can actually, that can be educational content. But he doesn't do that. His minions don't ask him why he doesn't do that. They are just okay. How is it that their mother, who doesn't brag about having this degree here and that degree here or the other one, how is it that it is their mother who is teaching them, who's like, you know, teaching them how to read, teaching them all the constellations, and teaching them how to write, teaching them math? How is it? How come it's their mother that is doing all of that? And you, that is a so called educator, bragging about what you invented this and you invented that, and yet you cannot teach your children. You don't have a board, a classroom setting. You don't have a space in your house where they can go and sit down and study and learn. When I was growing up, we had like a room where we had like a chalkboard, and we had like, it was like a study area. It was designed like a classroom with blackboard and chalk and everything. It was where we studied after school. And my dad is not even like a so-called educator, like he brags about him being an educator. That should be a staple in his home. Being the fact that he claimed to be an educator, that should be a staple. A blackboard or a whiteboard and a pair of chairs that looks like a chair that you get from classroom should be a staple in his home, where the girls can go and do all their work and read. And read every day. They have to go there. Whenever they are over there, they have to go there. They have to read a book. He has to help them read. No, but those kind of things don't bring views, do they? No. Those kind of educational content, those kind of act, plus he doesn't even have the energy to do that. He just want to be a nuisance. He just want to be a nuisance. He just want to rough house with two small kids and satisfy the PDF file among his audience. Because I like, what other reason is there? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So, yeah. I wasn't surprised when I saw the video about, and Athena was crying. And that's even the reason why I couldn't even watch the entire video, because the way that she was crying, she was in so much pain. It was so gut wrenching to me. The way she was crying, Junie, I mean to say, no, Athena. The way she was crying, it was just so gut wrenching. She was clearly in pain. And then again, once again, their mother is left to nurture them back to health. Their mother is left to undo all of the toxicity that he had exposed them to of the past week. She's left to nurture them. She's left to fix it. It is a very sad situation. It really is. It is a very sad situation. How a father could do this to his own children is something that I personally will never understand. Like, I will never understand how a father would do this to his own kids. I mean, I understand a narcissist and just an evil father. Like, I get that. What's even worse is how a bunch of weird elements that are watching him will just ignore all of these things that are so clear and so present. It is wild to me as a concept. It really is. But yeah, she was in so much pain, that little girl. She was in so much pain, and my heart just broke for her. My heart broke for her. My heart also broke for the mother who has to always pick up the pieces. Imagine going to the exchange location, wondering what kind of injury he has caused on your children that you're not going to have to spend the rest of the week nurturing and healing. Like every, because he doesn't communicate. If something happens, he doesn't tell them, he doesn't tell her. Whatever she learns, whatever happens to them are things that she either finds out on her own, or the kids, they tell her. He doesn't communicate. So imagine every Sunday on your way while driving to the place to pick up your kids, you are wondering what injury you're going to have to be treating over the next week, over the coming week. What injury are you going to be treating? Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, it's crazy work. And then you have women like this saying that he's a good father. These people have no idea what a good father is and what it does. They have not the faintest idea. And then he's on Instagram, on social media, posting this catfish image. We're supposed to believe that this is how you look. We see you. We've seen your video. We're supposed to believe this is how you look. Oh my gosh. Ah, what is this? We're supposed to believe that's how he looks. Oh my gosh. This is an illness, okay? This is a mental illness. What he is mentally ill. So we're supposed to believe that, yeah, this is you. This is all those AI generated image. It's because of Peggy that they invented AI image. They invented AI because of Peggy. Like, he has been the biggest benefactor of AI. Like, this is laughable. What a sham. What a joke. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. Please like this video and share if you care. And thank you so much for being here. I will catch you in my next one. Somebody says filter. That's not even filter. That is straight up AI. Okay, that's AI. Just that's just AI. That's not filter. That's AI recreating you. Oh my God. And we're supposed to believe that that's you when we see you every day and we know that that's not you. These are the kind of catfish image that he posts on his dating apps, I'm guessing, that draws all those women to make a complete fool of themselves. Oh my goodness. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Please like the video and share. I'll catch you later. Bye.